Okay, so I thought I'd make a tutorial on how to solve the 2x2 ghost cube to show the method that I use, and it's fairly simple. You do need to know how to solve a regular 2x2 cube, and preferably you should be familiar with solving larger cubes as well as 3x3 and 4x4. For the most part, the first layer we solve is intuitive, and the second layer is we're gonna be using 3 algorithms that I use, and they're all basic 2x2 and 3x3 algorithms. Okay, so so the first step is you need to find 2 specific pieces. First one being this piece right here, which you see with this long, thin strip. And there's basically 2 pieces that are kind of similar. There's this one, which has this long strip, and there's another one, which is right here. And this one has like a long strip, but it's thicker. We're looking for the one that has a thinner one. And so this is the first piece that we need. The second piece is this piece right here, which you see has this end of that thin strip right here. So it has this like 4 stickers on it. It's like this big piece like this. But what to look out for is this strip right here. And this, like I said, is going to be another piece that's a little similar, which is right here. But it has this like really, really triangular thin strip, which is like too thin. That's not the right one. So we need this one. Okay, so we place the cube with this piece, with this thin strip, like this, to our bottom left. And that piece back there, basically we're going to place it on top of this one. So we need to we move it up like this. It doesn't fit like this. The more you solve it, the more you see how you need to orient it. And like I said, it's intuitive. We're not really using any algorithms. It's all about intuitive flipping it. So we just flip it around. It's still not flipped right. We flip it again, and we place it in basically, and you see it matches. So this is the first part. Now we put in these 2 pieces on this side, which is going to be on the bottom and the top, the right side. And once again, once you solve, you recognize the pieces that you need for this first layer. And I see that this piece right here, which has this unique kind of shape, this one is going to go right here. And I see that it's already oriented properly, so I just place it in. Let's say it wasn't oriented properly. Let's say we oriented like this, for instance, you see, so that you use intuitive moves to basically flip it as you need. And this doesn't use algorithms, you just place it in. Lastly, also once again, you learn to recognize which is the last piece for this bottom layer that you need, and I see that it's this piece right here, and the way you do, you just place it above where it needs to go, and you keep flipping it until it comes in the right way. So you bring this side up, bring it in, it doesn't fit, so you slide it through, bring this back down, put it above where it needs to go, bring this side up, slide it in, it does fit, and so you bring it down, and now you see we have the entire first layer is done. Okay, so now the second layer is where we're going to start to use algorithms. And okay, so first we check to see if any of the pieces are oriented properly, and we simply do it by like turning and seeing if they match up. And you see this one matches up right here, so this one is oriented properly. We check the other pieces as well by rotating it and just, you know, ghosting it basically, and you see this one is not oriented properly. This one is also not. And this one is not. So they're all not, only one of them is rotated properly. And so what we do is, the first step is, we're going to rotate those 3 that are not rotated properly to figure out where they belong. So when we do this by simply doing RIDI, RD over and over 3 times through, once for each one of those 3, to flip them and see where they belong, basically. Okay, so RIDI, RD, RIDI, that's once. We move in a different corner. RIDI, RD, RIDI, RD, and we move in a third one. RIDI, RD, RIDI, RD. Okay, last D is not needed really. Okay, so now we check again. We remember that this one with the long, thick strip was already oriented properly. Now we check for the other ones, and we see this one is oriented properly as well. It fits in, and we see they're opposite each other. So these 2 right here need to be swapped, basically. And there's a number of ways we could do it, and so let me just think how I'm going to prefer to do it. Okay, so what I'm going to do First, I'm going to do the three cycling algorithm that we do on a regular 3x3 cube, and also we can do it on a 2x2, and that's going to be basically UR, UI, LI, URI, UI, L. And that's going to basically, it's going to keep this one where it is, and this one is going to go here, this one is going to go here, and this one is going to go here. It's going to cycle them in a counterclockwise motion. And so this one is going to go where it needs to go. It might not be flipped the right way, but we'll leave that till later. And these two, basically, the one that's going to go here, it needs to be here. So these two are going to be swapped. We're going to end up with a situation where we have two in place and two that need to be swapped. And that's where the third algorithm is going to come in. So the second algorithm basically is, as we said, hold it like this. So this one, we don't want to move it. We want to keep it exactly where it is. And U, R, UI, LI, URI, UI, L. Okay, so now we know that this one's not flipped right, but it's where it belongs, as we determined before. So these two are good as far as placement. Those two need to be swapped. Okay, so the way we do it, we turn the top layer to U in order to place them on the right side of the top. And we do the simple two corner swapping algorithm, which actually it does a three cycle of its own kind. But it appears as if it's going to just swap these two. And that algorithm is basically 2R, U, 2R, UI, 2R, UI turn, because normally if we do a 4x4, we'd be turning, UI and D. But in this case, since it's a 2x2, we just do a UI turn the entire cube in a counterclockwise direction. 2R, UI, 2R, U, 2R. And then we know all of these now are in their proper places. They're not properly oriented, except that one that we initially had, which is this one with the thick strip. And we basically could match that up right here. And we know the rest of them are in the right place. So at this point, we just need to do RI, DI, RD to all of them until they're all properly oriented. And so this one we know is already good. And the other three are not, so we simply hold it and we do RI, DI, RD, RI, DI, RD. We see this matches up, it's good. Turn in the next corner, RI, DI, RD, RI, DI, RD. It's also good. Turn in the last one, RI, DI, RD, RI, DI, R. And then we simply match up the two halves, and this solves our 2x2 ghost cube. And that's about it. Pretty nice and fun, simple solve. And thank you for watching.